The Broken Wings. Written by Khalil Gibran. Introduction. The weight of a memory that never fades. Some memories refuse to obey time. They linger not as recollections, but as presences, as if they inhabit a deeper chamber of the soul. This story begins with such a presence, a love remembered long after youth has vanished, carried within its author Khalil Gibran like a lamp protected from the winds of passing years. The world around him has changed, and he has grown older. Yet the memory of that first love remains untouched by the erosion of time. As he reflects, he realizes that it was not only love he gained, but awakening. Before that moment, life felt ordinary, unshaped by longing. Afterward, the horizon widened. Beauty took on a sharper edge, suffering became more visible, and every fleeting moment acquired a depth unknown to the child he once was. Through this memory, he senses that the soul's awakening often emerges from experiences that wound as much as they uplift. This reflection carries neither bitterness nor nostalgia. It is contemplative, a meditation on a moment that shaped his inner life. Gibran sees his younger self with tenderness, understanding how destiny intervened with a harsh hand, yet acknowledging that without that encounter, he would never have understood the human heart's capacity for devotion. The memory has become a quiet companion, illuminating the path he walks even now. What he prepares to recount is not merely an event, but a transformation. The story that follows is about the birth of sensitivity, the crossing from innocence into awareness, and the discovery of how fragile and powerful love can be when placed in the hands of fate. It is the story of wings that carried him upward for a brief moment before breaking, yet leaving behind the wind that still moves within him. Chapter 1. A youth shaped by solitude and quiet longing. Before love touched his life, Gibran lived in gentle solitude. His father had passed away, and his upbringing fell under the care of a family friend, a man kind but distant. Much of Gibran's youth unfolded in contemplation, reading, wandering through Beirut's streets, studying faces and landscapes with the eyes of someone who feels more than he speaks. This solitude did not wound him. It prepared him. Nature became his companion. The sea's shifting moods, the glow of late afternoon light on old stones, the quiet creak of olive trees shaped the contours of his imagination. He sensed beauty everywhere, yet he also felt the ache of something missing, a longing without a name. His heart was waiting for the moment that would give direction to its yearning. His sensitivity deepened in silence. He felt drawn to people's joys and sorrows, noticing the small sufferings others ignored. He had not yet experienced love, but he was already learning the language of empathy, the ability to understand another's heart without needing words. His youth seemed to prepare him for an encounter that would reveal life's deeper dimensions. The turning point arrived when his guardian reconnected with an elder respected in the community. Out of courtesy, Gibran was invited to accompany him on a visit. It seemed ordinary at first, a simple social gesture. Yet it would open the door to the greatest joy and deepest sorrow his young heart would ever know. Chapter 2. The First Glimpse of Selma. The moment he entered the elder's home, a subtle shift filled the room, a stillness, like air awaiting revelation. There she stood, Selma. Her presence settled into Gibran's heart with quiet inevitability. She did not strike him with sudden shock. She awakened him like dawn breaking gently over a sleeping landscape, illuminating everything without urgency. Her eyes held a balance of innocence and depth. Her face brightened by serenity, tinged with something unspoken. Her voice was soft, shaped by kindness and intelligence. In her gestures, there was grace unforced, a natural harmony between inner purity and outward beauty. Gibran felt something stir within him, as if his soul recognized her before his mind understood what was happening. Their conversations during those early visits unfolded with effortless intimacy. They spoke of books, the rhythms of the city, the changing seasons. Nothing dramatic, yet every moment carried hidden meaning. In her presence, the familiar world took on new colour. Even the furniture, the lamplight, the quiet breeze drifting through the windows felt alive with significance. With each meeting, their connection deepened. They discovered mutual understanding, an instinctive compatibility, a quiet harmony of souls. Their silences were as full as their words, and their glances conveyed emotions they dared not express. Yet beneath this blossoming affection lingered a faint shadow. Selma's smiles sometimes carried restraint. Her eyes occasionally drifted toward an invisible burden. Gibran sensed that her life was shaped by forces beyond her choosing. But the gentle unfolding of love dimmed this worry, allowing joy to flourish while fate prepared a storm just beyond their sight. Chapter 3. A Love That Blossoms Under Restraint. As their friendship deepened, love emerged naturally, not in dramatic declarations, but in the quiet unfolding of two souls recognizing each other. They met under the elders' hospitality, speaking with the formality demanded by Beirut's social customs. Their affection expressed itself in glances, in the lightness of shared laughter, in the serenity of walking through gardens under moonlit skies. Yet their love existed under restraint. Selma lived under the influence of her father's spiritual advisor, a bishop whose ambitions extended far beyond religious guidance. Her father, weakened by illness and worry, relied on the bishop for counsel in all matters, including those affecting Selma's future. Gibran felt the weight of this control even before it became explicit. Their meetings remained dignified and delicate. The closeness between them grew not through freedom, but through limitation. This restraint heightened their bond, making every moment more precious. They spoke of dreams, of the beauty of life, of the quiet mysteries that draw people together. Their hearts moved toward one another in pure, unspoken agreement. And yet Selma's smiles held an undertone of sorrow. Gibran saw her hesitation, her fear of hurting her father, her awareness that her life was not fully her own. Love awakened joy within her, but it also awakened conflict. Even as she felt her soul opening, she sensed the storm gathering. Their bond became both sanctuary and suffering, a delicate miracle growing in soil already shadowed by destiny. Chapter 4. The Cage Built by Duty and Power. The inevitable blow arrived when Selma's father, guided by the bishop, announced her engagement. The chosen husband was the bishop's nephew, a man of indulgence, arrogance, and moral emptiness. The marriage was not for Selma's happiness, but for securing alliances, consolidating influence, and ensuring the bishop's continued authority over the family's wealth. The news shattered Gibran's world. For Selma, it brought quiet despair. She did not protest, not because she lacked courage, but because her father's fragile health bound her to duty. She believed that resistance would deepen his suffering, perhaps hastening the end of his days. In sacrificing herself, she acted out of love, a love different from the one she felt for Gibran, yet equally deep and sincere. This moment exposed the cruelty hidden behind social propriety. Institutions meant to protect virtue became tools of manipulation. Religious authority cloaked ambition. Selma became a symbol of how power can imprison the innocent under the guise of righteousness. For Gibran, the revelation cut deeply. His heart awakened to love was now awakened to injustice. The world no longer appeared gentle. It revealed itself as a place where beauty could be crushed by greed, and where the purest souls often bore the heaviest chains. Yet even in grief, he remained connected to Selma. Their love transformed from joy into a quiet, mournful solidarity. Chapter 5. Forbidden Meetings and the Quiet Tragedy of the Heart. After her marriage, life brought Selma into a home filled with luxury but devoid of affection. Her husband treated her with indifference, indulging in pleasures that left her alone for long hours. Her father's death soon followed her wedding, leaving her without even the comfort of his presence. In this desolate domestic prison, her luminous spirit began to dim. Gibran could not stay away. Their secret meetings unfolded in the same garden that had witnessed the dawn of their love. Under the moonlight, their conversations deepened. They spoke not of escape, but of understanding. They shared pain without bitterness, longing without expectation, devotion without hope of fulfillment. These moments became their refuge, stolen fragments of light in an encroaching darkness. Selma's strength revealed itself most clearly in sorrow. She did not hate her husband or curse her fate. Her endurance carried a quiet nobility. She saw suffering as a pathway to compassion, believing that pain deepens the heart's capacity to love. Gibran both admired and mourned this resilience. Her tragedy intensified her beauty, not outwardly, but in the radiance of her spirit. Their love evolved into something purer and heavier, no longer the playful wonder of youth, but the profound connection of two souls bound by a shared ache. Gibran felt uplifted by her presence, yet devastated by what she endured. And as her health began to falter, he sensed that life was closing around her with the slow cruelty of inevitability. Chapter 6. The Final Loss and the Light That Remains. Selma's health deteriorated under the weight of sorrow and neglect. When childbirth finally claimed her life, and the infant's life as well, the world seemed to collapse around Gibran. The grief was sharp, immediate, and absolute. She had been taken not only from him, but from the life she deserved, a life denied by forces indifferent to the beauty of her soul. Her funeral carried an air of solemn tragedy. Those who had shaped her suffering participated in rituals of farewell, unaware of the contradictions in their actions. Gibran stood among them, witnessing the quiet injustice of it all. Yet even in death, Selma's presence radiated an otherworldly gentleness, as though suffering had purified her into something eternal. In the days that followed, Gibran wandered through the places that held her memory. The gardens felt emptier, the sea quieter, the world dimmer. But her presence remained, not as a wound, but as a light. She became the silent voice that guided his reflections, the hidden warmth that shaped his understanding of love and compassion. He understood that her life, though brief and burdened, had revealed to him the depths of the human spirit. She taught him that genuine love is not measured by possession, but by transformation. Even broken wings can lift a soul, not through flight, but through the awakening they bring. Conclusion. The story of the broken wings remains powerful because it is not merely about love lost, it is about love revealed. It explores the collision between soul and society, between longing and obligation, between the purity of inner truth and the harsh limitations of the external world. Selma's life reflects the quiet tragedies endured by countless hearts, shaped by duty rather than desire. For Gibran, the memory does not fade. It becomes a guiding presence, a source of insight and tenderness that shapes his view of humanity. Through Selma, He learns that love's value lies not in fulfillment, but in its ability to awaken and refine the soul. Her suffering becomes a mirror that reveals the fragility of life and the strength hidden within gentleness. Though her wings were broken, the impact of her presence continues to rise within him, illuminating the world with a light no sorrow can extinguish. The story ends in grief, but it resonates with a deeper grace, the understanding that love, in its purity, survives everything, even loss. Thanks for listening.
Did you enjoy this book summary? Got ideas on how we can make it even better? Drop us a quick note. We're always listening and learning from you.